Hi, welcome to Sparkling Memories, a place where you can build healthy relationship with food pairs yourself. And today we're going to make a simple recipe with some chicken breast that we had that was already seasoned and was left over. So let's go ahead and do something different with it today. The first thing I'm going to show you is the chicken breast that we have right here in this white plate. It's already fully cooked, already has seasoning, but we're going to add some yellow onions, green bell peppers, red bell peppers, couple pieces of garlic. Then we have those sweet chili sauce, of course. We have a bottle of water. We're not going to use the whole thing. Then we have grilled maize, the brown sugar and bourbon, sorry. And we have chopped red peppers for the late heat. We have some onion powder and garlic powder. So these are all the ingredients we're going to combine and make something from these chicken breasts. So the first thing I want to do is cut up my onions, my yellow onions. You could use red onions because red onions are a lot sweeter, but I'm going for more of the sauce and a little bit of the heat. So I might not necessarily want to use red onions, but I use what I have currently, which is the yellow onions. I'm going to just basically dice them. I don't want them very large, but I don't want them very small. So I just take my time out to do such. Of course, sometimes when you do the onions, they always have this skin on top that makes it hard to chop. I just remove them from my batch, especially when I do my onions, because it doesn't make any sense to have it there and I can't eat it because it's so chewy. Just take the skin off and throw it away. I'm not talking about the hard skin. There's another layer that comes after that. You just want to separate it from your onion and then continue cutting. I try to do as small as possible and try to get them around the same size. So some of them are just a little bit smaller and some of them a little bit bigger. But try to make it diced to the point it's all around the same size. And now I'm just picking out the big parts and then I'm just cutting it down. See, like that. Those ones you want to throw away. You don't want necessarily keep in your batch because it's hard to cut and hard to eat, and you just don't want it. At least I wouldn't suggest to put it in your meal. Just let it go. So I'm just going to go ahead and continue my chopping. I'm doing this in real time, so it's going to take a little longer than usual. No matter, do the little snips in and out and then move on to something else. But I know I don't do a whole lot of videos, so I want to make this as simple as possible for anyone who wants to do tutorial to take it step by step and to make it your own. Not to make it too complicated, but very simple. Something whereas you have leftovers and you want to use it and make something else. Don't make it complicated for yourself. Make it as simple as possible. Because anytime you make things difficult, it comes to a point you trying to understand what is the next step. The next step is to take something out of nothing and make it something brand new. That's why people take leftovers and turn it into other dishes, because they want to make something different and they want to make it edible and not the same old. So that's why you want to switch it up as a fresh veggies to something you already made. Now, if you're already covered down with sauce, you probably couldn't do this. But if you had grilled chicken and it wasn't in any particular sauce, you could always do this recipe. Don't overthink. Just get it done and make it happen. Now I'm going in to cut up the garlic. I have about 3 cloves of garlic because I don't use the whole thing. I only use a couple within the recipe. Yes, I do use fresh veggies and I turn around and use the powder onion and garlic. Is okay. It's not going to overpower your food. It's just going to enhance its flavor. I also have some green seasoning I put in there. That was some homemade seasoning. Still chopping up the cloves. So that's about 3 of them. So now I'm going in to do it too. The green seasoning basically is celery, some greens, thyme, so many different herbs that you combine together. You add your regular salt. You put it in a jar and you use it for different recipes. It's used to enhance your flavors, especially when you want to switch it up. So now I'm going to go in and start cutting up the bell peppers. And I have the green one right here. I had to take up all the seeds because the seed is not part of the process of what I want in the food. So make sure you clear all the seeds after you don't wash it with your vegetable wash and make it happen. Always wash your items. Don't think that it's going to come from the store and it's not going to have dirt or possibly bugs in between. This is why you want to clean your veggies. And if you don't have the proper veggies wash, you might want to just take some baking powder and some vinegar, and then you take it from there and you wash your veggies. Always wash your veggies. I couldn't tell you how many people watch others funny when they wash certain items, and it's like, okay, if you don't watch it, it's cool, but I think it's a good practice, especially when you get with veggies. You don't want to get that bad vibe that is not clean because you didn't take time out to do such. It is super simple. Baking powder, some vinegar is going to cause a reaction, of course. And you want to go ahead and do that when you're washing it. If you don't have veggie wash, that's one way you could create your own to do your veggies. And then a lot of times things are simple once you don't overthink it, okay? Take your time when you're doing these things. Use hand mitts, use gloves, all of that good stuff. But when I'm at home, I normally don't use gloves for every little thing. So here are all the veggies I'm going to put in. And then we still have the dry ones alongside there. So now we have our frying pan. We're going to go in with some Kerrygold butter, Irish butter. One of the ones I do love. It's supposed to be healthier for you. That's what they suggest. But it is what it is. My one switch up your oils. I like to use olive oil. But if you're a fan of avocado oil, you can do that too. I'm going ahead with the butter. Less oil for me, the better it is, huh? And like I tell people, it's okay to try new things. These are all the veggies that's going to go inside of the pot. They're switching it around. You can always do this with a spoon, get the butter all melted down. And once it's all melted down, then you can start adding your veggies. Simple, direct, and to the point. Don't make it overcomplicated. It's so not worth it. This recipe is going to take roughly, I don't know, about 20-25 minutes in real time. So I'm showing you this in real time because, cut and paste, you really don't see how long it takes until you're the actual person that's doing it. So me going ahead and get that heated. All the lip bubbles are there. So now I'm going to go in with the veggies because I think it's about that time. I already see the couple lip bubbles from the butter. So let's take time to go ahead and look at the temperature. Make sure it's not too high, not too low, because you don't want those things sparking in your face. You want to have it on and let it sizzle, then saute it, and then start adding other things to it. If it's too high, it's going to burn, and that's not what you're going for. You're going for a nice flavor, so it takes time to put the flavor into the dishes, especially if you're using chicken breast. It is not similar to wing or thighs because every part of that chicken we eat, it cooks and it behaves different. Especially when you use it and you actually had it before in another dish, you have to incorporate flavor. Okay? So here I am just putting in the veggies finally. So we have the onions, the yellow onions, the regular garlic, red and green bell peppers. I don't think you could make them large, but smaller is just easier. I hate when people give me the large veggies in my food, especially in restaurants. It bugs me. I'm like, couldn't you cut this down a little farther? I mean, this is a little extra, you know. But hey, to each his own. So now I have it in the pot. Yeah, some of the places, the pieces, you know, some of them might look really large. Like I have, it look like 3 or 4 of them is kind of bigger than the rest, but that's okay. I'm not totally a perfectionist. I just try to make it the best way I know how. Take your time and don't overthink it. If you have a couple pieces that are too big, that is fine. It is going to cook that and it's going to get sauteed. Now here I am with my thyme, fresh thyme. Oh yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and put that in. I love to put that in with my veggies. Yeah, because when it comes to the herbs, they have so many different properties, from the thyme, the oregano, the parsley. They all have different properties that help to keep you healthy and have your food looking cute. Now, as far as health wise, you want to incorporate spices. Okay, do not come with bland food and act like somebody can eat it. You gotta make a flavor profile and stick to it. Like, don't overthink it. I've seen people put too many sauces together and it doesn't work. With this sauce, it's just gonna be this sauce and some water to dilute it so you don't be extremely strong. And that's one way you want to stress your sauce. Okay, and everything gotta be seriously concentrated, because you don't want that. I can tell you straight off the back. You want things to taste good, not just look good. And that's what you're working on. That's why you have all those colors. Now, you don't have to necessarily use these. You could use other bell peppers like the orange and the yellow, but those tend to be a lot more sweeter. And remember, you're adding your sweet sauce. So it's going to sweet, and then the red pepper and give it a little heat. That's what we're going for. Yeah, so I'm waiting for this to cook down. So my next step right now that is a little bit more of color is to take these chicken and place them into the same pot. And I realized they were very big, so I had to make them much more smaller, because it's going to stretch once again once it's smaller and have all that sauce. So I'm going to go ahead and chop those up a little bit more smaller, because I realized it was like chunks of the chicken breast. And people tend to overcook chicken breast. You got to be very careful with that. You overcook it, you dry it out, and it does not taste good. Okay? It is not like the other pieces of chicken. We can put some seasoning, hook it up, and it'll be done. Chicken breast needs some heart and soul put into that bad boy, because people overcook it way too often. I couldn't tell you the amount of times I went to a restaurant and people overcook the food. I'm like, this is not good. If I can't taste the spice and I gotta add salt and pepper to this thing, it is not good. And not all the time you can rely on the sauce either. So you see the pieces are a lot more and it's spread out more in the pot, so it's a lot more stretched because I did a little chopping up. So I'm going in here with my onion powder, one layer and then another with some other stuff like my garlic powder, of course. So now I'm just opening my garlic powder. Here we are. And we're going to put that generous amount on there. Pour on the seasoning according to what you think it needs, okay? You got to put on as much as I do. Put on what you feel. If you want it to be more garlic, like, you put in more garlic. If you want to be more onion, like, you put in more onion. Do this by ear and what your favorite profile you prefer, okay? It doesn't have to be exact like mine's, because mine's has the onion and the garlic and then still the powder. Now I'm going in with the grilled maize, brown sugar, and bourbon. Oh yeah. Gotta go in there and make it taste good, honey. They don't just gotta look good, they gotta taste good. And that's what we're working on, honey. Making it do what it do. Taking those leftovers and turning it into something brand new, baby. Take your time. You get it right. It's gonna taste good, not just look good, baby. Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Get all of that mixed up. That's why I use butter instead of the oil. The oil would have made it way too oily. And that we and I over here making something oily, making something delicious. Okay, so we gotta take our time with it, honey. Anything that's worth having takes time for it to come together and marinate and get it good. Now you could always marinate it before you cook it, but I really did not have time for that. So everything in terms of flavor is gonna go straight into this pot and make it do what it do. Now the next thing, you want to go ahead and let it cook for a moment before you start adding your sauce and your water. Because you gotta let them veggies cook down, because you use veggies, it's gotta saute down, be a little softer, you know. It gotta go into the food, you know what I'm saying? You don't want something too complex, especially when you're trying to do this at least 20 to 25 minutes tops. Okay, you can fit that in with your 30-minute meal, because you could eat this with a sandwich, some rice, some mashed potato. I'm eating mine with some scallop potatoes, okay? And you can also do it with roasted potatoes, you know. As long as you don't cut your potatoes up too small, then you can always make some chips if you like. This is so versatile. You can make it what you want it to be. So now let's go in with some sauce, baby. We've been watching this chicken simmer for a minute now. Here we are. Sweet chili sauce, baby. Yes. Check out how much goes inside. Yeah, baby, get it. See? It doesn't have to cover the entire chicken. So now I'm going to go in with some water now. Oh yeah, my green seasoning I was telling you about. Here we go. I can't forget this, honey. We got to put that in. More fresh herbs, baby. Brings out that chicken breast, baby. I gotta mix it all up because right now it's in chunks. Come on with the water, baby. Because you put a little bit more water than sauce. You don't want it to be too strong, baby. That's why you want to go ahead and move forward and do that. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to go ahead and stir that around. And of course, we cannot forget about it simmering. You can either have it covered down if you want it done quicker, because that steam will cook it real quick. Or you can leave it without the cover like I'm going to do and let it sit and let it cook. Turn it a couple times so the sauce could be incorporated all through that chicken breast, baby. One thing you know for sure is you don't want no dry stuff. Talking about here to go to food. You want it to be nice and good. If you have been following this, I appreciate you guys so much. This is me making the leftovers do what it do. Make it work, make it taste good. And even though the chickens are different sizes, it is fine. Once you get that sauce in there, you're good. Like I say, don't overthink it, baby. You got this. Make it do what it do. Until next time, this is Miss Sita Round from Sparkling Memories. I really hope you enjoy this dish. Let me know in the comment section if you even tried it. Like and subscribe, because I'm doing this just so you know You could take something that been left over and make it the bomb.com, and people don't have to know it's chicken you used from yesterday's meal. Okay? Make it do what it do. Chicken breast at its finest with that sauce, baby. Hook it up. Here's a finished product. Bye-bye, y'all.